Uh, so yeah, I don't know. Um, but we'll see what we come up with. Hey, Israel, I didn't think you would be here today.
Hey, hey, yes, I quit.
You quit?
Yeah.
What do you mean? You quit
Well,
what?
no, because this is a lot of training, a lot of things to do, and I don't have time to do all that. 'Cause
Yeah, like trying to
uh,
catch up, you mean, and stuff?
yeah, and also, yeah, that's the other thing I was trying to catch here with Python and all this, and I was not. I already have a full-time job, so next job that I'm gonna find is, to work on something like this.
Got you. Sounds good.
Get get a mentorship with Ernesto. He's usually free on the weekends, and he is
Oh yeah, for
really good
tomorrow,
at it.
right? For tomorrow, right? In the morning.
Yeah,
There's a global mentoring as well. Yep.
global
Yeah.
mentoring helps, but Ernesto, out of all the mentors, he is the best, both at explaining and understanding things.
Who are
Got
the
it.
mentors that nowadays? I wonder if I even know them anymore.
There is Michael Mariscota, Yeju Motley, Matt Kirby, Scott Bowman. I think that's it. Oh yeah, and Valerie Dubach.
Oh, I thought she was a teacher, Valerie. Maybe
No,
she's both, I guess.
she's still a mentor. She's working with Shane.
Yeah, I don't know any of these people. Yeah, Valerie definitely was a lead teacher.
Oh, she got to be a teacher. Nice.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I like Christian a lot too. Christian Marrero, he's a good guy. And Ernesto's good. Yeah, Ernesto was in the same cohort as me with Four Geeks. And he already got a computer science degree and things. And he would be a good person to talk to. Him and this other guy, um, what's his name? Tyson something. They got jobs really quickly. They're both based out of Miami. And there's this thing, what the heck is it called? I'll find the name, but basically they give you like paid training. So it's like you get paid like probably like maybe 15 an hour full time paid training, and then they like training you to do everything for a client they have, and then once you do good in the training, you get paid like more, like maybe 25 an hour, and you like work for that client, and you don't need experience or anything. You need to show like potential or whatever, but you don't need to have like 3 years minimum BS typical stuff. And yeah, and they both were working for TD Bank. That was like the client
Oh,
that,
wow.
and it was really like Tyson. I was a TA in his class. He was like a student, and he got a job like I think it was like a few months after his cohort. That doesn't happen with like everybody, but
You're right.
it was cool. And Ernesto also went through that program. I don't remember what it is, but be a good person to talk to, Ernesto Gonzalez. If y'all are anyone y'all out of Miami, I don't think he takes like remote people really,
Okay.
but there's programs like that out there. Anywho,
No, like Ernesto can. You anyone can schedule a session with Ernesto. He does online as well. It's just much more limited.
no, I'm talking about the job he got.
Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, okay, okay.
it's like a company that they give you paid training, and then
that's cool.
you work for a client. And Ernesto got a job through them, and this other guy Tyson. Yeah, Valerie's interesting. So Valerie, she doesn't have a background in computer science or none of that, and she had an interesting approach. She said she looked at job post, and she noticed that a lot of them that she saw were dealing with what was it?
PHP.
PHP.
Okay.
and she was like, Portuguese didn't teach me PHP, and it's not a common language that people who are starting out learn, because it's like JavaScript and Python are a little more intuitive compared to PHP, some might say. She was like, bet, let me just learn PHP, because everyone else who's trying to start isn't really learning that. And sure enough, she got a job, like a full-time professional gig.
She took a Udemy course, and that was all the prep she had.
Yeah, she just did some project,
Really?
just following along to some project,
PHP.
and that was it.
And I don't know if you guys have ever talked to her, but Yeju Motley, also known as Julie, she actually just got a job unit testing.
Oh,
So if you ever wanted to go back to Jest, she got an $80K a year fully remote job from that.
That's
interesting.
beautiful.
And that's another thing. A lot of people starting out, they don't really they usually they shy away from testing. That's like a common theme. So after the cohort, I think typically after the cohort, you probably circle back around and be like, yo, let me actually learn the stuff that we breezed through. And then once you do that, I would definitely get into testing and post about it on LinkedIn a lot, because most people starting out shy away from it. That's cool. Unit testing. Yeah. Yeah.
Share the
Go ahead, Thomas.
I'll share the link to the job application for that unit testing when you guys finish the cohort, in case you guys want to go that way. Because they are looking for people. No one wants to do testing.
Nice.
Yeah, I will remind you if you forget.
Yeah. And yeah, I went through a thing, York Solutions. It's like another thing that I was Ernesto and this other guy Tyson did, like paid training, and then you get paid with a client. And a similar paying scale. It's like 15 an hour for paid training, and then 25 an hour. And then after 6 months, you get like 30 an hour, and that's kind of like the ceiling, which isn't that bad. I'm not complaining, but it's like a great foot.
Starting out, I wouldn't complain about that at all. Yeah,
no, not that at all. But so those are good ones for sure to look at. But yeah, we'll have to talk about all these kind of things, and then we'll have the career folks come over and talk as well, and all that good stuff. Nice. But cool. Let's jump into it, y'all. We can start up our. So yeah, Israel, we were gonna do the first API project, which is actually a Learn Pack. So I'm thinking we can just share our screens and do a few problems, and then someone else share their screen, and I'll add my commentary here and there. So yeah, project interactive to-do list API with Python and Flask.
Okay. So we just click on start project and open in the code space.
Yeah. That me again? that video.
I don't know. That was. I don't know. That was weird.
I don't know why it keeps on happening to me.
This is the one we have to fork, right?
I guess so. Yeah, you should fork it like per usual. Then you turn it in. It's weird. Have you graded something that's a Learn Pack, Thomas?
Yeah, I had to grade the Jest.
Right. So after they do the Learn Pack, they just git add commit and then give you that URL, right?
Yeah. Basically, it's literally just like one page of work. and I
Yeah.
have to just make sure everything was done properly.
Cool. So it's the same thing. All right. So it should start on its own, I guess. Supposed to. I just watched Mufasa, that new Lion King, with my son yesterday.
Oh
So
my
good.
gosh, it's so good. I just watched
And
it too.
and I got into Moana really late, and so we watched the first one, and that had Lin Manuel right on the set, making the songs, and then Moana 2 didn't have Lin Manuel, and those songs were trash.
I haven't seen either one. I have
Oh
to watch them.
well,
They're both on Disney Plus though, right?
yeah. So
Okay.
the first Moana, they had some bangers in there. Lin Manuel holding it down. Second Moana, man, they tried to do a rap. It was all like going down to the, and it's like what?
You could just
What
tell
do
the
you?
difference.
Nah, but so yeah, Lin Manuel was on Mufasa, and those songs were great too.
Why did sorry, I don't know why it's doing it.
Okay, I'm pretty much set, I think. Yeah. So, anybody ready to go?
Let me. Yeah, it's opening yet.
Great. You said you're ready to go, Jackie?
No, I already opened it, but it's running. The
Gotcha.
install is running.
All right. Shay, you said you're ready?
Yeah.
Okay. If you want to share your screen. All right. So this is going to be pretty cool because we've used get and post and delete before, calling a fetch thing in our React, but now we're going to like build it from scratch, not just like fetch it. Sweet. So in this tutorial, we're going to be building a REST API that exposes 3 endpoints to the internet: get to-dos, post to-dos, and delete to-dos position. So get to-dos will return a list of all to-dos in a JSON format like that. Post to-dos is going to add a new to-do, like we should know. Post is adding something new. And it returns a list of updated to-dos. And then delete to-dos. And then you delete it. Okay. During this tutorial, we'll be building a REST API using Python programming language and Flask library, ideal for creating APIs. But we are going to do it the right way, following all the good practices. We have to install and learn some things first. So we need Python, pipenv. If you're building this project, goes to your GitHub, you don't have to install anything. Click reinstall. Open a new terminal, leave it open. Yeah, that's going to be a good learning curve for y'all when you start working locally from your laptop and not code spaces. But yeah.
You have to run this command. This one, Python version.
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
I'm confused.
When you guys have to learn VS Code.
Didn't do anything. Try Python 3 version. Do we have to install it? Oh, it was coming off my screen. Okay, so for Python, the first time you did it, it shows Python 3.10. So
Mm-hmm.
that shows you that you do have that version. So that's great. Make sure pipenv is installed. So I imagine it's the same thing. Let's scroll down and see. Yeah, pipenv version. Okay, we got that version. Cool. You do continue. Install, initialize. It's possible to have several projects with different versions of Python. That's why you need to specify which Python version you want to use for every project during setup. In this case, we don't care which version of Python we use as long as it's more than 3.0. Okay? Every Python project should be wrapped in a virtual environment to ensure that each of them have their own Python version, modules, and libraries. Make sure nothing gets installed globally in your computer. Only install inside the specified environment under the .venv folder. Okay. Run the following command to create a new virtual environment. Okay, interesting. Let's do it. Your virtual environment. Okay, so it's saying a few things. Successfully create a virtual environment. You should see a pip file on the root of your project. Let's look. Open your files. Oh, there's a pip file. So there's certain commands that will create that. So it creates that for you.
Uh-oh, okay.
You should see a pip file, and it should have a requires inside of it for Python 3, similar to this one, but maybe with a different Python. Cool. And I think it does the pip file lock too. They'll probably talk about that. Okay, so that's all the stuff in there.
Oh, right here. I'm so blind. Okay, got it.
Cool. Next. Install Flask. Now we have to install our first package dependency for this project, Flask. Run the following command in your terminal. Install the package. Okay. Okay. Let's scroll down some more. Expected output. Next. I'll test my code. All right. So how are we doing? Everyone's
Caught up.
we're at the same spot? So you could pass it to somebody else. You want to share your screen, love? We'll catch you up together and then keep on going.
Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So do you already make sure you have the Python?
Okay.
You just put that in the terminal, Python version. Cool. So you can scroll down, make sure pipenv is installed. There's another command to put that one. Have you ever worked locally, Thomas, with the backend?
What was that?
Have you ever worked locally with the backend?
I have once because I ran out of hours like 6 months ago,
it's
but that's
really funky,
it.
right?
Hmm.
It can be weird to set up. Okay. So it needs a virtual environment.
Instructions.
So what you do is you do that. You know what's really easy though, Thomas? I asked people on LinkedIn. I wanted to use a backend, but I'm not trying to pay for none of it. And people told me that Firebase is really good for simple things. And the setup was pretty simple. It was just a JavaScript file, and you just gotta go into the Firebase and click some stuff. Different
Firebase
syntax.
is nice. There's this one I found. It's called Fly.io, and I'm reading about it right now because I want it for a project I'm working on.
Fly.io.
And apparently, like you can set up the back end, front end, and you might be able to do the database. Otherwise, you might have to use something else. But it actually works decently fast, which is what I was looking for. Because on render is trash.
Yeah, it's super slow, and it's not even. It's like free for like 3 months.
It's free for 1 month, and it's free permanently. However, it will only save your database for 1 month and will reset every month.
Well, I had a project with Render, and then it just like stopped. Like the backend just stopped working. So I just assumed, okay, it was just like free for a limited time.
If you don't use the backend, it just shuts it off until someone starts using it again.
I was
And then
using
you
it
have to
though. I don't
reset.
know. Maybe some nuance
really
I didn't catch on to. But yeah, Firebase is great. It's working. It's fast. It doesn't run out. All right, so this is the part where we're at. So go to the top again.
Okay.
All right, Flask is an app that behaves like a web browser. It exposes or publishes a group of URLs to the internet like an API or website. For example, you can use Flask with a domain and expose the following URLs. Those 3 URLs exposed by Flask will become your personal website. To create our first server, we need to add the following 2 lines to our Python file that we are going to create. These 2 lines have to be in every Flask project you create. So from Flask,
These 2.
So on the root of your project, create a source folder. Do that. You go to the root.
Just have to just kind of click down here to do it.
I like to click on the like you scroll all the way down on the files.
I am.
You are. So now below README, like click there. That's like
Got you. Okay. And then
so you can right click there and then create a folder called source.
Okay. Folder.
Do that too.
Let's see. Okay.
Source.
When it says root, what does that mean?
It's just like the base level.
Like not inside anything.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Inside of it, create a file named app.py.
So inside of it.
So yeah, in case anyone didn't catch that, we scrolled all the way down in our files, and below README, we right-clicked to put ourselves in the root, and we created a folder called src. Then we went inside of that, and we created app.py. As instructed above, add the code to create a new Flask app in that black rectangle.
Oh.
I think it has to go at the bottom, but we'll wait for the instructions to.
It has to go to the bottom
in
of the.
file. But I think eventually they're going to tell us that it needs to. But yeah, just paste it for now.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Okay. They'll let us know. We have to do.
Yeah, I think it usually goes at the bottom, but we'll see. The app link too, anyway.
Do we have to write a name or it's okay with that?
Just exactly like it put it.
Okay.
Mine gave me an error.
Let's look at your screen.
It,
Okay, let's look at the terminal. Okay, folder source must exist. Lowercase s.
oh,
That's why.
I have to delete it or I can rename it.
Yeah, rename.
Name?
Okay, run it again. Maybe that will.
Oh my god.
I was like struggling with this thing I was working on for so long, and the problem was something like that. Not the name of the file, but like the file structure that it needs to be in the root, and this file needs to be inside of that. What blah blah blah.
Yeah, they're real particular.
That's funny. Cool. Love. Let's have you do maybe one more or something, then we'll go to the next.
Okay.
New application.
Okay.
All right. After creating our app, we need to run and start the application. When the application runs, it will take over your command line. And you will not be able to type on it anymore because a server application like Flask never stops running. It keeps waiting for a request forever. Add the following 2 lines at the bottom of your file. Oh, I got confused. It's this thing. Add the following 2 lines at the bottom of your app.py file. Remember, this should be inside of your source folder.
Okay. Oops.
Okay. It should stay at the bottom always.
So at the very bottom.
So you just have to like hit enter a few times.
That's good. Or
Yeah, this should be fine.
Okay.
And we could always just have to make sure nothing goes after it, that's all.
oh, okay. Gotcha.
To run a new server, open a new separate terminal and enter the following command.
Wait.
So you hit the plus button in the right on your terminal. Like it says bash, learnpack, bash. Hit the plus. And then put that command in.
Wait, you lost me. I'm so sorry. I didn't see where you were reading at. Oh,
That one. Nice. So that's going. I think that's okay. That it's not found because we didn't set up anything yet.
We didn't do anything. Oh, cool.
Okay, so we can run.
Okay.
Wonder how they test that. Let me just try to look at the file. Anyway.
Interesting. Okay.
Okay. Check to see if your server is running by clicking on the URL. I think we did that already. Let's see.
Like
Yeah.
on the.
Like you already, because you click open it.
Oh, when I opened it. Okay. Gotcha.
So if you guys haven't, you could do that. Okay. So let's do another. Here we go. First endpoint. Since Flask is a server, it only makes sense to add some URLs to expose over the internet. For example, mydomain.com/hello. As a developer, we would like people to visit .com.
Yeah,
Wait,
I was like, what are you reading?
Sorry.
Create your first endpoint because we did this already.
I'm like
Oh, we
scrolling,
did?
like, oh, this is checking for the live URL. Oh, you're right.
Oh.
My bad. Continue.
Yeah, we did that. My bad.
Oh, you saw me scrolling? I'm like, wait, is it me?
It's okay.
So yeah, so .com, my route, I'm on the second paragraph, and show a message like "Hello World" to those people. We have to add the following endpoint. Okay. Cool. So let's go to that first bullet point. Scroll down some in the instructions. Okay, so that's the code we're going to use, but then it's breaking it down here. The first part, at app.route/myroute, specifies the endpoint that will be available to our users. In this case, users would see mydomain.com/myroute. The first line also specifies the method that will be used with that URL. In this case, the get method for reading data. So that's like, remember how like with like when we've been using fetch in the projects, we look at the API like documentation and it says, you know, like Star Wars, like to get all the people, put /people. Like the reason why that works is because someone made an API and they probably use some code like this, add app.route/people. And that's why when someone in the front end says /people, it connects to it and does something specific. And then there's a method get. So like on Postman, when you drop down and hit get, that's why it works with that. Okay, so the third bullet point. The second line defines a function that will be called by Flask when the endpoint is called by the user. Right, so someone puts that a get method and then they put /people or /something, then you define what's going to happen with a function. So that's the syntax, remember, of Python. DEF is what you put for a function. Then you put the name of the function, parentheses, to a colon, and then you hit enter. It needs to be indented to be inside of the function. So that's all Python right there.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to instructions. Using that knowledge, make your server return the string hello when the URL /todos is typed on the browser. Okay, so let's go up and copy that black rectangle up there. Okay, put it there. And instead of returning hello world the way they have it, we're gonna go to the instructions and replace everything in the quotes.
So we would put that in the return.
Yeah, instead of hello world, it would be that. Okay. And then we're gonna replace the route, the my route part with /todos.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh,
So I believe we could test it. Oh, my thing failed. Endpoint /todos must return hello. Oh, I didn't change the hello world part. Okay, run it again. So I think if we go back to that thing that said not found, and we say slash to do's,
Oh, then it should.
yeah, see if it works.
Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. And then, yeah, guess we'll keep it going. Cool. So let's go to somebody else. Jackie, you ready?
Yeah. I changed here the to-dos, but it says that uh, it's not correct.
Hmm. Yeah,
Can you,
it seems like that thing that was happening to you before the because
okay.
before it was saying not found, and yours
Yeah.
is like a different.
Okay,
Let's
it's
go back
okay
to
like
your.
that. So.
Let's go back to the code. So yeah, make your terminal bigger. 3245. So click on another terminal. The Oh wait, is it running? Click on bash, the first bash. Oh, it's not running. So at least that makes sense. What is the thing you got to do? Let me see. Okay, pip env run. So go back and the instructions.
Here in this one?
Back
Yes.
one more, or which one is it? 3.1. Okay, scroll down. Go down some more. Okay, that pip env run Python source. That first black rectangle.
Okay.
Okay, and
In
put that
this
in the
terminal
terminal.
or in the other one?
That one seems fine. It doesn't look like it's being used.
Okay.
Okay. You can open that up. Good. Now put slash to dos.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Cool. All right. So where are we at now?
On 3, 4?
3.4.
Oh, 4.
So we demoed it already. Yeah. So we can go to the next. So we're on 5. Returning JSON. REST APIs have to return data in JSON format, not HTML. Do y'all remember in our when we do a post method, we have to do JSON.stringify, and then you put the thing in there. So that's the reason why it's like the format. Cool. So you can use the Flask JSONify function to easily convert any of the basic data types to JSON data like this. So you got some data. my route, hello world, JSON text equals JSONify parentheses, and then you put some data in there. Okay. And then you return the JSON text. If we apply this knowledge to our to-do list project, we can create a global variable named to-dos. Okay. And then, so instructions. Create a global variable called to-dos. Do not declare the variable inside of any function. Declare the variable in a global scope and make sure the variable contains at least one task item. Okay. Change the function on the get method endpoint from string output so that it'll return the JSONified version. Okay. Yeah, let's copy that bigger rectangle, the to-dos. Not that
This
one,
one?
the of
What
it.
the other one?
Yeah,
This
it
one.
has more than one. Yeah. Copy that, and we want to make it global. So line 3 would be a good one. Okay, so now it's global. Any function can use it. And so we want to make it so that way on line 13, we'll hit enter after line 12. Okay, so let's make it so that way line 14 is going to return the to-dos. So the variables on line 3 is called to-dos. So we want to return that variable on line 14. But in order to do that, we need to convert it to JSON. So let's scroll up in the instructions. A little more. Scroll up some more. Go up some more. Okay, here's an example right there. So we could study that rectangle and try to learn how
The instruction said that create a global, okay. And make sure that the variable contains the user.
yeah. So yeah, the key is going to be here. So like if you scroll down a tiny bit on this same rectangle.
This one?
Okay. Yeah, scroll down a little bit more. Okay. Notice online the return. It's returning JSON text.
Yes.
Where does JSON text come from?
From some data?
Nope. It's a variable. You have to look for
Oh,
another
sorry.
variable called
Oh, here.
text, right? Yeah. So what is it equal to? What is JSON
JSON,
text?
some data.
JSONify. So JSONify is a function that will take a variable and change the format into JSON. Because an API, it can't return, it needs to return JSON format. So the thing that's called some data, can you put your mouse where some data is created?
Created here.
You're right. So what is it equal to? It's equal to an object. In Python, they call that a dictionary, but same difference. Yeah. So that's not JSON format. So that's why we need to change it with the
Okay.
JSON text variable, and then you can return it.
Okay.
So yeah, so now on our app.py file, we have something called to-dos, which is an array, not JSON format. So we need to change it to JSON format. So try to do that on line 13. And you can look at the black rectangle though. All right, and now line 14, what are we gonna put there?
JSON text.
Right. And I wonder if we need to import JSONify. Let's see, it's red. Yeah, we do. Look at the, scroll up a little on the black rectangle.
Oh, here.
Yeah, so put that at the top, just that import. Good. So now we imported that function. There it is. Okay, so let's look at the live link again.
Oh.
Why is it still? Do I need to run it or something? Oh, I didn't change mine. Go to yours though, the live link.
Where?
Remember, go to the live link
Oh.
and refresh it.
Mine did the
Go-
same thing.
It's not like working for you neither.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I refreshed it.
Either.
Mhm. Let's see. Go back to your code. 3, 2, 4, 5. And go to your terminal, the first one, the bash.
Hmm.
The first one?
Yep. And make it bigger. Seems like it's scroll down. Oh, it's not invalid syntax equals. That's like from before. So put your arrow key up, and like, yeah, hit the arrow key up inside the terminal.
How? I don't know how.
La flecha arriba, la flechita.
Oh, I already pressed it, but nothing happened.
Okay, we'll do pip env.
And?
Let me. There you go.
Yeah, that's
Israel's got it in the chat, Google chat.
Okay.
So yeah, if it's not working, maybe you guys need to restart your server. So in the
Okay.
terminal, do that command that Israel put in the Google chat. Let me try to do mine.
Why is there an error on line 1?
You know, every now and then there'll be a little weird thing there, and typically I see that it still works, with in particular with imports. I've seen someone fix. I always forget.
You usually fix that by like changing the interpreter.
Yeah, that sounds familiar. But it does work though. So. So yeah, so now put to-dos, JSONify. Put slash to-dos in the URL. That's the route. Okay, and there it is. Oh my god, you know something so freaking cool? So there's this LinkedIn page that I follow that this is a guy who just is always posting really cool shit like developer stuff, and it just blew. It's pretty simple. Let me share my screen really quick in case I forget. It's pretty amazing. It's not the hugest game changer, but it's just pretty cool. So like, okay, so let's say we have an object. Name, love, occupation, real estate, CEO, true. So that's my object. So I could console. All right, Shay, we'll look at that. We know console.log, right? So I could put console log, the name of my object, which I called it obj, and it shows it like that, which we've seen before. So this guy on LinkedIn, he said you can do console.table and put the name of your thing, and it does that. Look at that shit.
That is
Wow.
pretty cool.
Really cool.
Wow.
It's like
So
an
you could-
edit cell inside of the console.
Console.table. That's cool.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So the Star Wars stuff with all that crap, you could put console.table and it would just like lay it out for you nicely.
That's dope. Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Seen that? Like he had a little video. I'm like, yeah, right, that ain't gonna work. And I did, and I was like, wow, so simple and yeah, pretty cool. Anyway,
Cool. That's pretty cool.
but let's take a look at yours, Shay, with the indentation error.
Okay.
Typically, let's look at it. Okay, the return. So typically, it does usually auto like when you enter a function, like so the JSON text, you go to the left of it
This one?
and keep hitting backspace until it gets to the same line as line 11. Yeah, keep hitting it until it's like side by side, like that. Now hit enter. Okay, there is the indentation where it should be. Like when you hit enter, Python will like automatically place it where it should be if you want it to be inside the function.
Hmm.
And you can just go off of that.
Okay, so it has to be like not like the second word, basically. Okay.
Yeah. So if it's off just by a hair, it won't work. And usually that's what I do. So that includes an if function. I mean, a function, an if statement, for loops, all those things in Python. The indentation needs to be exact, and you can just backspace, put in the same line, hit enter, and that will show you where it's supposed to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's no like tool for that, like we used before in JavaScript, to
Like prettier or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was trying to
I
look
wonder.
up there and see anything.
Oh, really? I would be,
Mhm.
I would be surprised if there's not anything. I would think there would be.
Let's see
I don't really use Python enough like that to know, but that was something interesting to check out.
Formatting is a lot harder in Python because in JavaScript, it's literally just making it prettier. But for Python,
Yeah.
you're changing the logic.
Yeah. And you can't just automate that.
Yeah.
Right.
You would have to use like some AI for that.
Right. Yeah, makes sense. All right, so we did that. Maybe you can do another, Jackie, and then we'll get Israel on.
Okay. Okay, so
Oh,
the
whoops. JSON. And by the way, the JSON text equals part could be whatever you want it to be. That's not like a built-in Python thing. That's just, you know, the syntax of a variable. So we could have called it, you know, Barbie equals JSON 5 to-dos, and then put Barbie in the return. It would do the exact same thing. All right, and I think check your endpoint. We did that. Why is it not letting me pass a to-do list? I mean, they want it to be the exact same variable name. But yeah, we did that, right? Yeah. So you
okay.
can go to the next part. Oh, I didn't pass the to-dos there. Gotcha. All right, post. Add a new task. Now that the get method of to-dos is done, we have to think about the rest, like a post, creating something new. All right. In order to build a post endpoint, we have to do something similar to what we did in the first endpoint. Scroll down. Okay. In order to build a post, blah, 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 something similar. So this is a get method. And that's straightforward. It says method equals get. Okay. But we're going to do a post. So as you would maybe guess, instead of get, you would write post in all caps. Scroll down. We're expecting to receive the to-do that the client wants to add. And you do that with request. Yeah. So request is a built-in Python thing that if someone, so we know with the fetches we've done with our to-do list or whatever, that we'll, in the fetch request, we'll put body, colon, and we put something in the body. So so we're sending that to an API. So in order for the API to detect what's in the body is with this thing called request. It's just in the Flask library. It's just a keyword request that has built-in functionality that will detect if something's in the body, and then you can do something with it. So yeah, and at the top of your file, you should have from Flask import Flask with a capital F, comma, JSONify. Now you can put comma request. And that will allow us to detect what's inside the body and do something to it. Okay. So add the following endpoint. So you can scroll down a little.
Where, in the instructions or in the terminal or where? Instructions?
In the instructions.
Okay.
But I'm kind of tempted to do it a little differently. Let's do it from scratch, and we'll just like keep it there. So let's go to line 15 and hit enter a few times. Well, how about let's copy line 11 to 14. Let's copy that. So that's a whole endpoint right there. For Jackie, it's line 11 to 14. All that is considered an endpoint. So copy that and paste it below. Okay, so now let's edit this. So first of all, it needs to be a post method. Cool. And you need to have a different function because it'll show an error saying you can't have two functions called hello world. So we'll change that, change it to add new to do like it is in the rectangle. Because Portuguese is testing this, so it should be the exact same spelling and all that. Okay. Great. And so now on line 18, we're going to create a variable to capture what's inside the body. So because of the test, again, we'll have it match up exactly. Request body. Request.json. Would have thought there would have been parentheses, but I guess not. Okay. And then the print. Let's just copy the print from the black rectangle, just so the test can pass. And replace line 19. Or delete line 20 now. So if you notice, they're doing the same thing that we do in console log in JavaScript, the tagging it. Print, and then in quotes, it puts a little title, just so when you see it, you know what it is, and then comma, and it's putting the name of the variable called request body. You could have just done print request body, but then when you see it, it's like, is this it or is that it? And when you have a title there next to it, it's easier to find. And I guess we'll just copy the return. And let's fix the indentation. Line 20. Okay. And let's scroll down, see if there's anything else they want us to do. If we imported it, okay, run it. Cool. Any questions about that?
Not for now.
Mine's failed, but I think maybe I just missed something.
Sure, yeah, take a second, and if not,
Yeah.
you can check it out. Israel, how about you go next?
Okay. I got a question about that request.json. That is like a method, a function, or something.
Yeah. I'm not sure.
Because I don't see anything. Oh, here. Okay, you import it, so I guess it's like when you import a user stage from React, something like that, right?
Yeah, it's hard to say if it's a function per se, but for sure, you know, it's like you're saying, it's imported. So it's something that's built in that has a bunch of, I'm sure it has some functions in it, you know. It just has a lot of properties that are pre-built. Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Let's
Test your endpoint. Okay, this is what you should have to do. Take time to analyze. Okay, we already analyzed it.
Request.json is a method by Python frameworks like Flask, which is what we're using. And it basically parses the information sent through the Flux, or I guess in your case, I guess it's the store, the actions dot stuff that we used to do. And it basically changes it, parses it into the JSON payload.
Okay, got it.
All right. So we did that. We analyzed that. Oh wait, now there is parentheses. What the heck? Maybe they just missed that. So yeah, let's put parentheses on it, I guess. Request.json parentheses. So the JSON.
Oh, okay.
Parsing it.
Let me see.
So request is just getting it from the body, and then the .json converts it, parses it, like Thomas was saying, I think. Okay. Oh, Postman. Nice. So yeah, we'll go to Postman and put something in the body. Does it scroll down to say what should be in the body? Oh, that. The request body. That's what should go in it. I mean, really, we could put anything right now, but I just might as well just put that.
Okay.
Copy that, and let's go to Postman.
Oh, where's my? Here.
Okay.
Post. Where is Lucas body?
Yeah, that all looks good. So everyone's following along there. You copied the URL from the live website, put /todos,
I don't know way.
and go back to the code again, Israel. So notice on line 13 for Israel, we all have that. It says route /todos. So that's why in Postman we need to put /todos as well, right? And then the method is post, so we got to put the drop down in Postman to post. Cool. And so notice what are we actually doing? So the function, so like, you know, a post method is built to add something new to a database. But the function we're adding to it for now, all we're doing is what? We're just printing it for now. That's all that's going to happen. We're going to run it on Postman, and I think we'll see it in the terminal. So did you hit send already?
No,
Okay, go
I
ahead.
haven't.
Got you. Hit send. Okay, 404 not found. Maybe it's not the right URL. Oh, I think
Oh.
it needs to be dev / I wonder. Let me try mine here. Sometimes you need to put something else in between, but it depends how it's set up. Let's see. It should be that. Let me try it on my end. Like, I'm curious if it would be like the URL /app /todos. Like sometimes that's a thing.
Yeah.
Try that in the Postman,
Okay.
just in case.
Well, just with API.
APP
Oh, API.
and then /todos.
Same.
Same thing. So go back to the code and oh, look at it. Wait, view function. Wait, is it running? What terminal are you using to run the backend?
I think the first one.
This one? Okay, let's run it again then. It seems like it's currently not. You can hide that. Okay, mine's running. If I do that. Okay, so now go to Postman. Post body raw JSON. All right, send it. Not authorized for me. Oh, you gotta make it public. Like Thomas said the other day. Did you get that? Not authorized? Yeah. So go to your terminal and go to Puertos. And then where it says visibilidad, change it to right click on it. Visibilidad. A la derecha.
What is
Más para allá. Un más.
okay,
Ahí.
okay.
So
Oh, private. Okay.
yeah, right. I think it only matters for the 3245, the bottom. So right click there and change it visibilidad del puerto and change it to public.
Okay, list. Okay. I think
Public,
it's
great. So you all got that? It should be port 324. So go to ports in your terminal and find the one that says 3245. And right click on the visibility, change it to public.
so we can do the plus again without APP or
Without the APP thing.
okay. I don't know what happened.
Scroll up in there. Let's see. Scroll down a little more. Thought I saw an error message somewhere. Scroll down
It's
a little more.
returning HTML. You probably want raw.
Object is not callable. Okay, let's go back to your code. Slash to dos, add new to do, price.json. Oh, you know what? I don't have parentheses on mine. On the request JSON, and mine seemed to work.
Hmm.
So
get rid of
where
those.
is it?
Yeah, and try again. Okay. Now I'm even more confused because at first I saw like, what, really, no parentheses, and then the next instruction showed it for the parentheses.
So actually, you don't need parentheses.
I guess not.
Is that only for a post or for every method?
Well, usually you only use the body with a post or a put method. Put is when you update something that already exists, and then post is when you're creating something new. So you only use the body with the post and put. So it'd be only for those. Yeah. So both of those. But let's go to your code. And let's look in your terminal. Yeah, there it is. Look at incoming request with the following body. So that's the print. The print shows up here in the terminal. And something a mentor recommended to me is to put something like, here's the body, and put like 10 exclamation points. Because there's a bunch of crap. Like, look at here. Detected change in work in the terminal. Detected change, blah, 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 blah. Restarting, blah, blah, blah. Tip, blah, blah, blah. Debuggers. There's like so much stuff. So when you try to look for prints in a terminal, it can be like kind of hard to find, especially when you do more complex things. So usually like the tag is nice to do something that like really, really sticks out. But sweet. So we got that to work. Anybody need some help with that, or we all got there?
I'm there.
You got it? Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, mine works.
Perfect. You good, love? Good. Oh, you just got it. He's like, yes. All right. All right, perfect. Yeah, let's start where we start. I think Shay. No, Love was who was first? I think it was Love or Shay. I think it was Shay. Okay. All right, so finish the post.
Sorry, I forgot to turn on my mic. Okay.
Oh, no worries. Okay, so we have that. Cool. So, some bullet points here. First, make sure that you're converting the request body into a real Python data structure, like a dictionary. This is what they call objects in Python. You can see that we already use request JSON for that, since we know the request will be in application JSON. However, if that is not known, you may want to use request.get_JSON force true to ignore the content type and treat it like a JSON. I have never used that before. So that's just like kind of food for thought. Anyway. Second, add the dictionary into the list of to-dos. Last, return the new list of to-dos. Okay, so those are two things. Second and the last part. We need to add the dictionary into the list of to-dos, aka add the object. Like we're sending an object with the post. And right now we're printing that object, but that doesn't do anything. It just shows up in the terminal. So instead of just printing it in the terminal, we want to add that object that was sent to the post into the list, like on line 3 for Shay. List is an array for Python. And then return that new list. Okay. So currently this endpoint is not adding anything. Let's complete the code. All right. Let's look at the instructions. Add the contents of the decoded request body into the to-dos list. Return it. Don't forget to JSONify. Okay. Scroll down.
Well, that's it.
That's it. Okay. So we have to. What should we? So let's think about what would be the precise thing we need to look up in Google for number 1. Let's just focus on number 1. Like, typically, you want to say what programming language we're using. So what language are we using right now?
Python.
Python. So that needs to be included in the thing we Google. And so what are we trying to do exactly? Just for number 1.
Add content.
Yeah, but if we put that in Google, if they don't have context of what we mean, it'll kind of, you need to get a little more specific than that.
So adding content into a list called to-dos.
Getting closer. So I think we should define what is the content that we're adding. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. It's more about we're adding something to a list, right? And what does a list mean? in Python?
The array.
Right. Good. So how? Well, what? Okay. Cool. So what would be the question we put in Google then? How to what?
How to
We're pretty close. We know we need Python. We know we need a list, and we're just adding something to a list. So
how to how to add
something. I would just say something.
yeah, how to add something in a list while when using Python.
Yeah, and I think you could just put how to add something to a list in Python, and I would like hit it right on the money. I think. All right, so I think that's good enough. Just that.
Oh.
Well, there's probably more stuff, but I think that's good enough right there. So why don't we copy that? There's that little copy icon, and let's go to your code and let's I don't know, paste it on line 14, and we'll get rid of it after we're done. Okay. There's our list on line 15, our demo list. So what can we analyze from it on line 16?
It's counting how many are in there.
No. Well, a clue is on line 17. It's showing you what will happen after you do line 16. Look at line 17.
So that one is now saying that there's 4 now added.
Kinda. I mean, well, let's do this. Can you see how there's a 4 there on line 16?
Mhm.
Can you put the letter Z instead of a 4? And then on line 17, you see how there's a 4? Can you change that to a Z as well? And put back the thing? All right. So now, what can you...
It's like calling a place, a specific place in the array.
No. Remember, what did we Google?
How to add to a list in Python.
Okay. So we Googled that, and so what does it look like it's happening here?
It added it to the array.
Right. Now we know the syntax. So what's needed? Narrate for me line 16. Like how do you add something to a list in Python according to this example we have?
So you recall or rewrite the variable.
Good. Of the list.
And you put dot append next
Cool.
to it with the parentheses.
Yep.
And then you add the variable or the
thing
into the parentheses.
Yeah, specifically the thing you want to add to the list. Awesome. So let's go back down to our endpoint, 21 to 25. What is the variable that represents the thing? Because remember, we printed it already.
Mm-hmm. Request body?
Yeah. That's the variable that represents whatever someone sends to us in the body with the post method is getting saved inside the variable called request body. Because request body is equal to request.json.
Mm-hmm.
So that the logic request.json is the secret sauce. All right. So what is so number one, it says add the contents of the decoded request body into the to-dos list. Okay. So so we have that example we pasted there on line 15, 16, 17. So what is the name of our array, our list?
Add new to do.
No, literally the array we have. What is it called? What's the
To-dos.
and how could you find that? in your code. You have to scroll up.
Right here.
Right, so it's called to-dos. So we know from the syntax on line 16 that we need to call that variable again. So after line 23, hit enter. Okay, so make sure you hit tab because it's the indentation. All right, so let's try to add the thing to the to-do list. Good. Nice.
Um,
And the thing you want to add to the list goes in there. Perfect. Yeah. So it adds it to that. And then line number 2, return the updated list to-dos to the front end. And the hint on line 3 says, don't forget to JSONify it. We have an example on line 11.
so it'll be after this one.
Right.
So cool.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Perfect. Yeah. And then what are we returning?
Request body. No.
Right, but you already have that on line 29, so you can just, I mean, same difference, I guess.
Oh, just change it here.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah, and we can get rid of line 28, I guess. Okay. So let's try it. Is your backend running right now?
Backend is the live page.
It's kinda. So yeah, put in this terminal. Go hit the arrow key up in this terminal. And hit enter. Okay, now let's go to Postman. And so slash to-dos, you have something in the body. So let's send it. Unauthorized, you gotta make it public. The ports in your terminal. It has to be the 3245 one. All right, let's try it again. Cool. And so look at what's in the response thing down there. It's the list of to-dos, and it has the one you added.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because, you know, the way we did it. So I wonder, can you go to your code? On line 28, can you put parentheses, like return, parentheses, request body? And then, so after request body, can you put a comma? And then put a string saying added to do item or some. Cool. Well, item, because it's
Item.
because you're adding an item. But anyway, so let's go to the Postman again. See if this works. So inside the body, could you change it to a sample to do 2? Just to have it different and send it? I don't know if this is gonna work. No. Let's go to your code. Request body. Yeah. How's the syntax? How do you do that? Well, I think it's put so make it parentheses and then curly brackets and then request body in the thing in there.
Curly surrounding the quest box
No, no, the all the way to the right. Like,
right here.
yeah. I think that might work. Let's try again. Oh, you gotta start it up again. In the terminal. All right. You don't have to open the browser, but go ahead in the Postman and send it. Oh, again, you gotta make it public.
Oh, why isn't it automatic?
I don't know. I guess because it. It still didn't work. Whatever. I'll work on that later. I usually like to. But so my point is this: that you can control what you want to show in the response. A lot of times people can add a message and things. I'm gonna look at that up later. But go ahead and undo it. Put it to the. Wait, did you already
You don't
run it?
need any. You don't need any curlies or parentheses for the return statements.
You can just put a comma in the string and it'll show it.
Yep.
Oh, all right.
Sorry, I'm grading. So when I jump back in, whenever I hear you ask a question or say like, "Oh, I don't know," I'm gonna check.
You have to start the thing again.
Oh Jesus. Okay.
You have to do the command in the terminal. All right, public. We're learning our lessons now.
Repetition is key.
Oh, it didn't work still.
502
back to-
back way.
There's definitely a way to do it. Go back. So usually if it doesn't work, there'll be like information in the terminal. But let me see. So make it bigger. 509. There's no error message. Let me look this up. I know there's a way.
Oh wow! For messages, you do need the parentheses and the brackets.
Oh, so like I had it?
Yeah.
So why didn't it work the last time?
You don't have commas or let me just send it to you because I looked this up. It would be something like this.
So put parentheses around the return like we had before. And get rid of the curly brackets. Set up a comma and you put a plus. Yeah.
Oh wait, that's the response. Let me give you the full return.
Give the run your backend again and all that other crap. Make it public.
Oh my goodness. Would this be it?
Oh yeah, make it public. It's easier. Thank God, because
Yeah.
good Lord. Why can't I see? Oh, that was on Slack. I thought you sent it in the Google chat.
No, it's on Slack.
Wait, what the heck? Oh, here.
And the first one is the response. Or, yeah.
So return JSONify. Oh, yeah. That's the part I would always see, JSONify. I see. So it has to be return JSONify parentheses curlies, and then what we're doing. So let's see. Put curlies like you did before. And then to the left of the parenthesis of like right there, put JSONify.
Wait, why did I?
I think that should work. Okay. If it doesn't work now, I'm just gonna like cry. Oh my god, I'm crying. Jesus. Yeah, I'm gonna work on that when we take our break. Go back to the code. Oh, is it a? Oh, it's a object. It's an object syntax. So yeah, I'm just gonna work on that later. But are we able to go to the next part? Oh no, it's gonna fail because of the. So, what are we returning? Request body. So, in your return, only put request body. And then run it again. Cool. Okay. Well, yeah, we could take our break now. And then work on the delete to do. So where are we at? 8:05? Yeah.
It's always 8:05.
8:05, 8:10, 8:10. All right, y'all. Yeah, see you guys at 8:05.
All right.
Sounds good.
I've never thought of writing a string in an API in the return like that.